Hello everyone, I'm Shruti Kumtekar, Marketing Manager at Kloves. Thank you for joining us in our Kloves monthly webinar. Today we'll be discussing ServiceNow at the University of San Francisco. Here's the agenda. I'm going to take a couple of minutes to go through housekeeping, talk about Kloves, followed by the presentation and Q&A. This webinar will be recorded and you will be able to access it later. For Q&A, you're on mute. If you have any questions, please use the Q&A section in your Zoom control panel, and our panelists will answer them. If you have any questions that are not directly related to the webinar, please email us at sales@klovesinc.com. Our social media channels are listed here, and you can access our previous webinars at our Kloves YouTube channel. About Kloves, we are a ServiceNow partner since 2011, based out of Santa Clara, very close to the ServiceNow headquarters. We are a full ServiceNow shop with 250 plus customers and 400 plus implementations, and we have executed projects globally. In terms of services, we provide end-to-end services. Our focus has been on customer service management and user portals and HRSD. Our panelist today is Stephanie Carter. Stephanie is a product manager with a business analyst mindset who is doing her part to eliminate business roadblocks with clean, smart, and practical technology solutions. As the owner for ServiceNow at the University of San Francisco, she manages the ServiceNow support team and identifies ways that ServiceNow can elevate IT practices in a higher education culture. She holds a MS in Organization Development and a PMI Professional in Business Analysis certification. Stephanie, welcome, and thank you so much for joining us today. I will stop sharing at this point and let you take over.
Great. Thanks, Shruti, and thanks everyone for joining today. I'm really excited to share this presentation that we shared at Knowledge this year with you again. Kloves was very generous and sent lots of attendees to the session, so thank you, Kloves, for that. This story of ours that I'm going to share is really just a glimpse into the work that we've been doing over the last 18 months to reintroduce the platform to USF, to the user and fulfiller community. We had 10 years of technical debt and old customizations that were holding us back, and this story is the beginning of how we're turning it around. So a little bit about the University of San Francisco. We are a small private Jesuit institution in the heart of the city. We were the first university to implement ServiceNow in 2008. We migrated from Remedy at that time, and this was really when ServiceNow was just a ticketing system for IT service management. It was definitely not the platform that we know today in any way. We serve over 13,000 users, constituents, and that is just for IT services. And in use, we have service management, business management. Kloves is helping us with our discovery launch for our operations management and CMDB improvement. And we've launched PA Premium and the service portal, which I'll talk about a little bit later. The main things I'm going to talk about are the three things that have helped us move forward. So ownership. What is it? Why does it matter? Specifically, what has it done to improve our usage of ServiceNow at the university? Support. Who's minding your store? Who's actually taking care of your platform, if anyone? And if not, how do you build a team that fits the needs that you have at your organization to address ServiceNow and how it can meet your business needs? So what is ownership? What it is to us is accountable, it's mindful, it's intentional, and they're not just cheesy words here. We apply them in our work situations, and they are key. When you own something, you are accountable to it and for it. And I know you've heard the saying that this project or this thing is my baby, and parenting is a great metaphor of accountability. You're raising something, and in order to do that well, you must be mindful of the needs and intentional with your responses to that need. So in the ServiceNow world, we talk about understanding what the business really needs, being mindful of their goals, and that is what helps us be intentional with the solutions that we recommend. And we hold ourselves accountable to deliver the results to the users so that they can get their job done. What it's not. It is not just keeping the lights on. It's not running through the motions of your daily business. It is not quick, and it is not easy. And a lot of what I'll show you of the things that we've done were done in a relatively short period of time, but it wasn't easy, and the show continues. Of all the things that we've done, there's still more to do to maintain it and to own it. And it's not the Holy Grail. Owning something is just the beginning of the journey. It's not the end. So why does it matter to us? And to really understand why ownership matters to us, I have to start at the beginning when we implemented in 2008. We were plugging along with one employee who was managing everything. He was a one-stop shop, administration, development, enhancements, defects, you name it. And as ServiceNow expanded, the internal demands became too great. And something really stalled for us. And this is kind of what happened. That was just 20 seconds of nothing. So imagine years and years of nothing. We affectionately refer to it as our dark period, where ServiceNow was just stalled. It was just sitting there. Time went on, and as our one person moved on to other things, that's when we began a strategic partnership with Kloves. And we have one developer position. And it was that developer from Kloves that said, hey, you haven't upgraded in 6 years. Did you want to do that, or just hang out, be unsupported, or what would you like to do? And no one else knew or cared because no one owned it. No one owned it at all. So we upgraded, finally, to Helsinki. And then there was a shift in ownership. Our information security officer was desperate. He needed the CMDB to be accurate, to be up to date, in order to understand the security needs that the university had. So he went to the CIO and said, I want ServiceNow. I want to own it. I want to bring it to where it should be. I want to build something new. And in that request, he said, if you give it to me, this is what I need. And one of his requests was a product manager. And that's where I came in. This is where my journey with ServiceNow began. And with the ISO and the CIO on board, they were really my champions. I was able to acquire another headcount, and I thought we were going to be off and running. We started using a tagline with everyone, like service then to ServiceNow. And every time someone would say, ServiceNow can't, or ServiceNow doesn't, we would say, no, that's service then. We're going to show you ServiceNow. We're going to turn this around and really show you what this platform is capable of. And a week into the job, I got an email forwarded to me, not sent directly, but forwarded to me from ServiceNow to let us know that our Helsinki release was going to be unsupported in a month. So all my big plans had to shift. We needed to upgrade, and we needed to do it quickly. So we went to Jakarta. And we just did the bare bones of it, just to be up to date. Kingston had already been released, but We didn't want to skip 2 releases. That felt like too much too fast. But after we got that, I was able to really build the roadmap. I was able to start doing the analysis that I needed to do to find out what was really going on in the platform. What were these customizations that we had done? How did those compare to what ServiceNow is doing now? And after those audits, I was able to show people what we actually needed to get things done, and we acquired another headcount. We engaged Kloves to help us with the ACE Health Review, and if you're not familiar with this ServiceNow, the ACE Health Review is a configuration review. Basically, they take every configuration that you've done and compare it to ServiceNow best practice. They allow you to look at the release notes, see what you've done, and they prioritize it for you. Like, these are the most important things to fix. These are medium, these are low. And Kloves really helped us to get through that review and change over 437 instances where our configurations did not match ServiceNow's standard practice. That was pretty big for us in the back-end world. And through that data review and through ACE Health, we were able to retire 2 applications that were doing duplicate work that ServiceNow was capable of, but we didn't know it because we weren't owning it. After that, we moved our knowledge management into version 3. We were in version 2, and we're just in one workflow. And this migration really helped us to move into multiple workflows and hand off some ownership of knowledge to other departments and not just ours. And the service portal was huge. We weren't even in customer service management. We were basically using a interceptor page to throw people to the correct form to request something from IT. And this service portal launch was really how we kicked off ServiceNow to ServiceNow to the entire university community. And this is how we launched it.
Do you know where to get help from ITS? All representatives are currently busy. All representatives are currently busy. We'll be with you as soon as possible. That was then. This is now. The new ITS service portal connects you with what you need when you need it and simplifies your interactions with ITS. No more sending emails into the mythical inbox. No more waiting on the phone. Need something you don't already have? Make a request in 2 clicks. Need answers? The portal search engine gives you the control to solve your technology problem. We're continuously adding content, but if you still can't find what you need, create a ticket and we'll follow up swiftly. Track the status of your request in My Step and know immediately if we need something from you. ITS is your technology resource, and we work for you. Anytime, anywhere, the portal is open.
This launch was really big. It was something to the entire community, and it was something our CIO had wanted for a long time. So to be able to deliver that was a real key and a real turning point for us in this journey. And we added 2 more resources to the team. And with this, I thought, oh, no one's going to stop us now. This is great. We have a team of 6. We launched Performance Analytics Premium and retired another application that was helping us with reporting, but it wasn't up-to-date reporting. It wasn't doing real-time data the way that we needed it to, and it wasn't providing the analysis over time to see how we were improving, see how the places we needed to improve and actually do that. And then we went to London. This was the first time in 8 years that we were on the most current release of ServiceNow. And users and fulfillers began to believe us. They knew that what we were saying was true. And they understood that what they knew before was service then, and that ServiceNow was something that they hadn't really seen before. And from the portal launch to the London release, we were really able to prove that to them. And that was really huge for our team. And now that we're on ServiceNow, we're going to ServiceNext. And this year we've been working on several things. We relaunched our project management tool, which in 2008 we had customized ourselves because ServiceNow didn't have any project management at the time. They do now, but what we were working in was an old customization. So we relaunched that to our project managers and operationalized our ticket system here in IT to meet our new project management workflow. We launched a phase 2 of performance analytics, where it then became an IT-related dashboard where everyone could go and just see their team's information. And it seemed so simple, but everyone was looking at different metrics. Everyone was looking at different things, and no one was speaking the same language when it came to, this is how my team is performing, and PA has really helped us to do that. We're launching Discovery soon. We've been working on the automated test framework and are really excited to use it during our Madrid upgrade that's coming soon. And I've been working on a training program that is specifically geared to our USF usage of ServiceNow. Madrid is happening. We have kicked off the project and we will be in Madrid in August. We're migrating to the new survey. We are on the legacy survey. And with these 2 items, we're going to retire 2 more applications. Then we're moving to mobile, and safe harbor statements, everyone. We hope to move to application portfolio management, but that really depends on how our focus shifts on the project management world. So our project management launch in Q1 is really going to inform the portfolio launch potentially in Q4. So how did we do it? How did we build this team? On the timeline, it just shows up as a little blip of like, here's another person, and oh, we got another head count, but it wasn't that simple. So what does ServiceNow actually recommend? They do have an article on HighPortal that you can look at, and it talks all about their support model, what they recommend to really support the system. They also have a webinar out there, Building a Team of ServiceNow Experts, and it's very similar to some of the stuff that I'm going to show you because I followed a lot of their advice. So they recommend having an executive sponsor, sure. A platform owner, sure. All of that makes sense. And then their recommendations got a little crazy for a higher ed institution with not a lot of resources, not a lot of capital to just go out and get people, particularly in the Bay Area where we're dealing with technology competition that is insane. So they recommend a team of 7 people and a platform owner. Well, that wasn't something that we could do, so I took what was recommended and looked at what we needed. I looked at our priorities and our vision, and our CIO was really clear with me. He wanted to promote self-help. He wanted to get people away from submitting tickets for the help desk. He wanted to deflect those. Wanted to really reduce the applications that we were using that were doing redundant work. Find those things that ServiceNow can do. Find out if there are applications we've purchased in the past to try to address that, and let's get rid of them. And he wanted to expand the platform to other users and not just IT. Our scale is not that big, 13,000 users. We've got a little over 240 fulfillers. We had 6 custom apps in the beginning, and I've talked about the customizations that we had. It was really a tangled web of nonsense. And our poor person in the beginning that just kept getting these needs thrown at him, and he was just doing his best to hold down the fort. And that's kind of what happened for a long period of time. That's where our complexity really came in. It wasn't that it was huge, it's that it was just tangled, and it didn't make a lot of sense. And we had to look at the people. What were their capabilities? What were their bandwidth? So I took what was recommended, what we needed, and I did a little bit of an analysis. We had a developer that was handling our enhancements and defects, our admin, our maintenance, and was really looking at QA. So as he was launching and deploying enhancements, he was really the only one, other than the business, doing like that QA testing. Our tech writer was handling all of our knowledge articles and website management for the IT division. And I jumped in where I could. I was owning it. I was working on the architecture. I was being a trainer, a project manager. I came from the BA world, so that was something that made sense to me. I wanted to hold on to that. And because I was so involved in the business analyst side of things, it made sense for me to help with some of the QA. And then when the enhancements and defects got to be crazy, I would jump in on administration. I'd been a CRM admin in the past. I knew how to manage it a little bit, so I would jump in. This is way too much for 3 people to handle. So I had to break it down to build the structure. I could own, I could architect, and I could be a DA. Those things made sense. The developer needed to be able to focus on development, just enhancements, just defects, pushing out fixes, pushing out new functionality. And the tech writer could focus on writing and taking all that information from the developer and creating new collateral for everyone to look at. But what about the rest of that stuff at the bottom? Well, we added a headcount because I knew we needed it. And our product analyst orchestrates everything about our CMDB, assets, data, you name it. He's also working as the project manager for our discovery launch. And one of the benefits of being in university is internship labor / free students who love to jump in and do what they can. And our student worker really helps us with communication. She helps us with QA, and she helps us with just editing of anything that we're doing. She's just a 5th set of eyes. We added a project manager who handles all of our ServiceNow related projects and some of the BA work as well. So I manage some BA work at the higher level, and he really gets into the nitty-gritty of requirement validation. And we added an administrator so that we could really keep enhancements and incidents clear and distinct from one another. They weren't the same, and we needed different skills to tackle that work. And being now in information security and compliance, the ISO will tell you that security is everyone's responsibility. So on the ServiceNow team, QA is everyone's responsibility. We are all involved. We all understand what's happening, what's being deployed, and we're all responsible. We're all accountable to make sure that what we're delivering has been assessed and has been checked for quality. And that leads to training. We have been able to partner with our Educational Technology Services group here at the university. They handle all of our online course content and instructional design, and they have partnered with me to build the training program that I've talked about. We're developing videos and knowledge collateral that is specific to our usage at USF. And this team, you can see how much we were able to redistribute the responsibilities because we were able to get the people that we need. And that's how we built the structure that we have. Other than just finishing lots of things and being very busy, ownership has helped us retire 3 applications. And you saw on the timeline where we were retiring them. And with $40,000 wasn't just a one-time shot. This was $40,000 annual that we were spending on redundant applications. That's something the CIO did not want to do anymore. And that may not look like a lot of money, but in higher education, an annual $40,000 is a big investment. We've got our eye on 2 more applications that need to be retired, and it's going to bump that number up to $70,000 annual that we've been spending elsewhere. And we've been able to reinvest that one time into ServiceNow and bring the platform where we need it to be. Our support has drastically changed the way that we can deliver services. That is an actual performance analytics chart. And our mean time to resolution dropped from above 20 days down to below 3 days and continues to trend evenly where it should be. We were breaching SLAs. We weren't able to meet demands of the people around us. And this is one of the things that's drastically improved because we've had support. And the team that we have built, the ability to assess what they're capable of, the bandwidth that they have, and redistribute those responsibilities has helped us deploy over 140 enhancements. We've published over 400 articles and completed 7 projects. And that is a lot of work, but when you have a team that owns it and is mindful about the support that they are providing, then they are able to really crank out a lot of high quality work. And that is what the team has been doing. Some takeaways, and I have a couple lessons learned as well, but ownership is key. It is the only way that you can really take ServiceNow and bring it where it needs to be. If you just let it sit, you will be in a dark period just like we were. It's not going to build itself. It's not going to raise itself. It has to have attention. You have to support it. And I joke that like it needs love and attention, but it does. It needs care. And if you're not mindful about it and not paying attention, it's not going to grow, and it's just going to get stale. And then your business is going to think that ServiceNow can't or that ServiceNow won't. But that's not true. It's just that ServiceNow needs the attention to really show the potential that it has as a platform. Analyze your priorities. What's complex about your environment? What resources do you have? What capacity? Do you have champions? Do you have executive sponsors on your team? And if not, those are really key. You've got to find those people to help you move ServiceNow forward. I don't have a slide for it before questions, but some of the lessons learned for us was really back in ownership. Quick and easy. We did a lot really, really quickly, and Kloves really helped us move really, really quickly. We were able to reintroduce the platform because we did so much so quickly and turned around the perception of ServiceNow. But that was really the breadth of it. It was a really kind of wide net that we cast, and we tackled multiple kind of modules inside ServiceNow. We tackled service management, we tackled business management, we're tackling operations, knowledge, you name it, self-help with the portal. And we did so much that there wasn't a lot of depth. Our wide net was cast, but it didn't go very deep. So that's what we're working on now. And in the beginning, I talked about how ownership really has to be mindful, and it's only the beginning. Ownership is just the beginning of our journey here. We're finally owning it, but that is just the jumping off point for us to make ServiceNow really, really work for the university. And so that's what we're trying to do with enhancements is make sure that now the breadth of the things that we've done turns into depth. It really starts to be robust and meet the business needs that everyone has. And so that's where we are. That's what's happening with us right now. We're working on the depth of things, and Kloves has been a great partner in that. They've really been helpful and mindful themselves. They have joined in the ownership with us, and I really can't thank them enough. I'm really thankful that they asked me to share this with everyone today, and thanks for coming. I hope you have some questions, and Shruti, go forth.
Yeah, thank you, Stephanie. That was great. And everybody, if you have any questions, please feel free to use the Q&A section in your Zoom control panel, and Stephanie's here to take your questions. So here's a couple to get started with. What were some of your metrics for measuring success?
Well, one of them that I showed was our MCTR and how our support model was able to address that. I can also, actually, since I'm still sharing, let me jump out and show you. I'll show you some of the things that we've been working on. Our performance analytics really, other than, so we reduced the applications that we're using, the redundancies. That was a key goal. Like, how do we get that to be different? And then I'm just pulling up some PA stuff. These are some of the metrics that we're working with in production now with PA Premium, really trying to get our backlog down. Of course, it's going to be the spinning wheel because I'm showing people. Trying to reduce our P1 incidents. That was a big one for us, just to make sure that we were handling outages in a different way, handling security in a different way, and our ACE health review and the CMDB effort that we've put in has really been key for that. We were really trying to get down our MTTR and compare our running average over time. So this is for everyone that's in ServiceNow. This isn't just, actually, this is for all of IT, so that we can really see how we're doing day over day. This is like a custom PA thing that Kloves built for us that compares our new incidents and resolves daily, and then allows us to see our MTTR and how it spikes. You can always see the weekend. And then we broke it down by group, but this is some of the PA power, is that a group director can come in and just say, well, I just want to see client support services and everything is responsive. I just want to see infrastructure and everything is responsive, so that they can just see their department. And if they want to get down into the nitty-gritty, then they can. They can also see their survey responses. So we're doing a lot of analysis on our client satisfaction as well. That's a metric that we've been paying attention to over the years to make sure that our ratings are staying pretty steady. And we break it down by several things. We can break it down by different constituencies so that we can see how we're improving with faculty, for example, versus students. We can also break it down by assignment group. And if you're not familiar with PA, I really encourage you to get familiar with it, because it's really helpful to see your historical data compared to what you're doing now and how it's trending. We haven't gotten into predictive analytics yet, but that is a next step with PA, probably phase 3, I would say. Anything else?
Yes, we have one more question here. Did you face any challenges with adoption? What were they and how did you overcome them?
Yeah, definitely. We still, I mean, that is a challenge for everyone. It's a risk for every project that people won't adopt it. One of the things that we have done to address it is to be more frequent with our communication and to break down the silo of ServiceNow just does its own thing and we don't really know what's happening, and they'll let us know when something gets upgraded. We've done that with a communication plan where we send out emails when things are happening. We also have a newsletter called Now News that highlights things that are functionality that all of the users can take advantage of. We also have What's Now sessions, which are in-person sessions, where I kind of lead a session on maybe something that we've announced in the news and show off that new functionality. And then I'm able to gauge how it helps a wider audience and then go to that group and see how we can build something specific for them using that functionality. And I think just that attention, that having ServiceNow in their day-to-day ritual, like not only are they working in it, but they're going to training sessions, they're getting news in their inbox, they're seeing new articles, and the leadership is delivering metrics directly in ServiceNow when they give updates to their teams. Those things have really helped the group adopt what we're doing, and certainly retiring the applications that they were using to do other things have helped with adoption, because there wasn't an option. It was, we need to stop spending this money elsewhere, so we need to train you and get you into the reporting that ServiceNow does, and that has really helped as well. I think also, back to the key of sponsorship, our CIO and our ISO being executive sponsors and being champions for this, everyone is on the same page that ServiceNow is the tool that we're going to use, the platform that we're going to use, and that has really helped with adoption, to have that kind of clout, I guess, saying like, no, this is the way we're going to go, and that's been really helpful.
Okay, great. Thank you, Stephanie. So audience, if you have any more questions, feel free to send it to us, email it to us at sales@klovesinc.com, or you can still post it here in the Q&A section. And if you're not getting any more, then, well, thank you, Stephanie. Thank you for taking the time to join us today. We really appreciate it. And thank you, everyone, for attending. And we will see you all next month for our next Kloves webinar. Have a nice day.
Thank you. Thanks, everyone.